Hey everybody, Adam Savage at Propstore with Brandon Ellinger. How are you?
Hey Adam, I'm doing great.
It feels like every time I come here, I say, these are iconic pieces we're talking about. But these are, in fact, iconic pieces that we are talking about. These are props from Ghostbusters 1 and in some cases 2.
Yes, yeah, I mean, just great content here. So this is a hero ghost trap used in both movies, all metal construction, functional, practical with lights and moving parts, as we'll show in a minute, and radio control. So I think based on the letter that came with this, because this was originally sold by one of the producers named Michael Gross.
Okay.
And in the letter it said they had 4 hero traps.
Made for production.
Yeah. And I think that's basically referring to the aluminum body ones like this. I mean,
Right.
feel how heavy that is. Pick that thing up. It is a brick.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're not hanging that on their
No,
belts.
that is like
Yeah.
12 or 14 pounds.
And so I've seen another version where the cartridge comes out. It's spring loaded.
Oh, so
but
this one doesn't.
That cartridge is fixed in because it has all of the functionality. Do you want to take it for a test drive?
We can actually make this thing power up?
Let's do it.
Dude,
So,
okay.
The sequence, I believe, is remote on.
Always turn the remote on first.
This little switch here on.
Okay, little, ooh.
And
ooh.
now I think you've got, if you hit that button there, doors open. And then
Wait, oh my God. Oh, they did it both with a single servo.
And then you've got another little switch hidden in there.
Yeah.
So let's get that guy.
Oh,
that activates that.
okay.
And then if you run number 3,
Oh,
that'll give us the bar
Oh,
graph.
and it goes all the, what? They had oh my God, look at that segment display.
How cool is that?
These segment displays are the most impossible things to find in the Ghostbusters
really?
prop publication. There's like absolute
Just a super rare
unicorns.
part. And then check out hit number 6.
All right. Okay. Oh, wow. That flashing is practical. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. And look at that.
And that's basically for interactive lighting on set, right?
Yes. Here's something I really love. Having made a lot of lights go on and off with remote control, my biggest issue is that there isn't just a solid state thing that you can click and it will send power through a relay. It's always a servo. And here in here, you see this little micro switch?
Uh-huh.
It's a servo hitting the micro switch to turn that on.
Right, look at the physical movement involved with that.
Totally. Oh my God, that's spectacular. Okay, what else?
I mean, you wouldn't even know that it had that built into it, but essentially, you know, they would have animated over it, right? They would have rotoscoped in the visual effects elements, but they want something on set for the interactive lighting.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing is number 7 over here will give you the, you've got one light.
Oh, trap is,
Yeah.
light is green, trap is clean. Oh man. And
How much fun is that?
dude, I can't even.
So this is hero trap for close-ups. You know, probably never carried on anybody's belt, but they would slide it across the floor. They'd shoot it in close-up with the doors operating. I think we screen matched this one. I'm sure you remember the shot in number 2 where I think it's Venkman is in the park and somebody's running by in like Central Park and he's got the trap half buried in the dirt.
Yes.
That's this exact one.
Plus the trap pedal.
Yeah, how cool is that? The pedal and the cord. So a lot to this one. And
I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around how important this single piece is. It's just like I've replicated ghost traps for over 20 years. And seeing an OG one in the flesh in the outside world is just absolutely blowing my mind.
in great condition. I mean, all these are the original labels that they put on for the film. I don't think this thing has been touched. I mean, there's nothing restored on it. And like I say, it was sold by one of the producers in the early 90s, only a few years after Ghostbusters 2.
And then kept in clearly a nice space for that entire time.
Yeah. We actually handled this one. We did sell this about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's now coming back around.
Oh.
So, but I don't think. Sorry, the other one that I'm thinking of that we've handled in the past was a Ghostbusters 2 trap, and if you've seen those, they're smaller.
Yes.
So
yes.
for 2, they shrunk them.
I'm curious if the RC controller is original to the piece.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, no, that came with it. I mean, as far as I know, these are all the period Dymo labels where they
5
marked it
door.
up to.
5 is the door. Oh my God, 5. We're running out of battery, I think. 5 is the door. 3 is the bar graph. 6 is the flash. Oh my God, that's great. That's incredible. I can't believe those are all original. Okay, moving from iconic to another iconic piece. This is a GB1 belt,
Yes.
am I right?
Yeah. I think it's Egon Spangler. I think it's marked HR on the inside. And this is the only real first movie belt that I've ever seen. I don't even know if Sony Archives has a first movie belt.
What? And this is the famous belt gizmo
Is that its official name?
Well, I think that's what it feels like it's called
BG?
in the prop collecting. There is a guy who has actually made the correct circuit boards in brown
Oh wow, okay.
because those were made of brown. But
Look, this is like it's like cardboard or
yeah, it's like
latex or something.
it's like cardboard or even leather that they've drawn on.
So it
in a
wouldn't hurt
silver
anybody.
pen.
Yeah, yeah,
The degree of crunchiness in this is hilarious.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Pretty rough and ready. And there is a little Easter egg in this one.
There's a little Easter egg in
If
here.
you look on the inside, we've got a maker's label.
Oh.
Let's see, where is it? Maybe it's this end. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Okay. So for one thing, you've got the HR, right, for Harold
Yep.
Ramis.
Yeah.
And then
Oh wow.
the studio of Frederick Nida. Fred Nida was a Muppets guy out of New York.
What?
Who worked on building Muppets, and I know him from, if you look at the books and making of docs on the Dark Crystal,
Yeah.
he did the Gartham characters for Dark Crystal. So he went Gartham to Egon.
That's great. I mean, because in film, everyone's always trying different things. Different. One job finishes, you're
Yeah.
just going to take what's next.
I don't know if it's because Ghostbusters is like a New York-based production,
And they
that
just
they
reached
went
out to him?
New York artists. Because you see right there, it says he's in New York, and Muppets were famously out of New York, right? So-
Yeah. I'm also noticing, the fobs are a key part of any Ghostbusters costume, but this is a very unique bit of closure. It's not the standard. It's not the standard carabiner that you
right.
see on
Yeah.
most people's replicas.
And do they, in the film, do they use those or something? Does something hang on them? Or are they strictly decorative?
I think some of them are decorative, and depending on shot by shot, they might be holding something.
Okay.
Like gloves are in one at some point. I mean, my knowledge of the belt and its attachments is not comprehensive enough.
Well, I know it's not for the trap. Because
Right,
the trap
right.
is like the V-style plate, like the thrower on the pad.
Yeah, and
right?
it sits on this big.
Yeah.
It sits on a leather
Right,
pad,
which
with
this
a
one
V
doesn't
in it.
have.
Right.
So, because I think not all the guys had the trap holders because they didn't all have traps.
It's true.
So ties back to the fact it's Egon. But yeah, I mean, this originally came from the collection of a guy named Peter Mosen, who was a Ghostbusters super fan. He was one of the first guys out doing Ghostbusters cosplay back in the 80s, and he got this from the studio at the time. They just gave it to him when he was doing promo stuff.
Wow.
And so we sold this one a number of years ago, and it's come back around. But like I say, it's the only belt that I've ever seen that's been out there.
This case apparently, I think, is a tape measure belt
Oh, okay.
case.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Um,
One of the things that I love about Ghostbusters prop design is it's from this great era where it feels like they were building it all out of real mechanical stuff.
Yeah.
Not unlike, let's say, some of the Back to the Future stuff or even some of the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
As opposed to today, everything gets designed and CAD and 3D,
3D
prints
printed
and machined and it's sort of, in a way, it's lost the more, I don't know, the more kind of real world hardware aesthetic, a little bit more geometric, right? All of this.
And I'll actually go and pay a compliment to some recent videos we did because we covered Blade Runner 2049. You guys just had a really successful auction of that. That is a film in which the props as designed are all from scratch and also look like chunks of a world put together.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like those feel coherent in the same way that Ghostbusters props feel coherent.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely.
You're right. This aesthetic of the cobbling together of LA is famously home to some of the world's great surplus parts. And
Is it Apex?
Apex is
Right.
one of them, and there's a few others. And so many of these pieces were cobbled together from those rows and columns of those great stores. My gosh, this is an incredible collection. Is there more Ghostbuster stuff in this auction?
There is a couple other things. There's also a pair of Harold Ramis boots from the first movie.
Oh, for the Spengler completist.
Yeah, if you want, no, I really do think it's a build your own Spengler set. There's also a Spengler jumpsuit. The jumpsuit's from the second movie, so we've got to cross the streams a little, so to speak. But we get there with the Spengler setup in the end.
And the auction is upcoming.
It's coming soon. Yeah, it's March 26th to March 28th. Day one is at the Peterson Automotive Museum. These are all day one pieces.
You guys have allocated some really spectacular rock stars of propage for that day one.
Yes, yeah, it's gonna be a fun day, and we invite people to come out. If anyone's in LA, they should come, and even if you're not bidding, you can attend the auction. You can see some of the items in person, and we have a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh! And original controller. Oh my God! I got to find one of these for my
And it
collection.
still works.
I know that it still works to operate this.
40 years later.
Mind blown. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
See you guys next time.
Thank you guys so much for watching that video. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you we have some excellent merch. We have a 5-pack of demerit badges for sale right now at tested/store.com. We've got the I hung it off of level demerit badge, the I built the chair backwards demerit badge, the I hit my thumb with a hammer demerit badge. We've got the stapler in my finger demerit badge, and my favorite, I stuck the duct tape to itself demerit badge. Get yours now, tested/store.store. Tested. It's right here. There. Just click there.